controls design environment, working with CDE. The next topic I'm going to cover is working with relationships within CDE. So we'll go back to the basic CDE project that we had started creating, and you can see I've added a robot as an element to this particular project. And as mentioned before in one of the other modules, there's relationships associated with any of these elements. So if I go back up to the main controller level, you can see it's got relationship items for adjacent cells, assemblies, cells, MCPs, options, styles, and you'll see for any of the other elements there's a variety of different connection options as well. The MCP obviously doesn't have anything there, but if I look at the cell, you'll see a couple different options here, and so on and so forth as you go through the other items. Working with the relationships is fairly simple, and where you would need a relationship is where there's a relationship between items that's not necessarily a parent-child. So the parent-child relationship is set up by the tree structure. So we can see here that this particular gate box is a child of the cell, and the cell is a child of the overall controller, for example. But in this case, I would want to link up a station with a particular HMI, or a robot with a station, or a robot with an HMI, and that's what these relationships allow you to do. So in this case, I'll go over to the Station tab, and underneath relationships, you can see there's options here for a couple different things, and what I'm looking for is for HMIs. So here I can pick this edit icon, and here it gives me a list of available HMIs. In this case, I only have a single one, so I'm going to go ahead and add that to the relationship list on the right and say close. So now I've got that relationship defined. Now if I go over to the HMI tab itself, you'll see that it has the station that I did that from listed underneath its relationships. So likewise for the robot relationship on the HMI, again, I only have the one robot defined in this system. I'll go ahead and add that there. And then that would have shown up in the HMI side as well. So going over to the, or in the robot tab as well, I should say. If I go to the robot configuration, you can see it's got that HMI listed in its relationship list. So depending on how the SME is defined in the system, there can be a minimum or maximum number of elements that are associated with these relationships. So that's where you see, after any of the items listed, if you see in square brackets the two numbers separated by the two dots, you have a minimum relationship listing and a maximum number of items that could be in that relationship list. So in the case of a robot, it can be associated with anywhere from 1 to 3 HMIs. With that smaller number being 1, it means it has to be associated to at least one item. If it's a 0, then that relationship list can be left blank.